First of all, I'd like to thank everyone's favorite internet dads at Cinema Therapy for bringing this film to my attention. If you haven't seen their take on this film, please go check it out. I will leave a link to it in the description. Thanks to them, I was primed and looking for the similarities between this film and the experiences of someone on the spectrum, and I found plenty, some of which has already been discussed. But as someone who's been in Bright Bill's shoes, an autistic kid with all neurotypical family members, I want to address something I think flew under most people's radar when they watched the film. Roz is an amazing mom, but she is not the only one helping to raise Bright Bill. And judging from the same way my mom raised me, I think multiple players, like teachers and mentors, might be a key. In this video, I'll go through several characters and the role in my life that they correspond to. First, Roz herself. Her journey from programming-driven helper to deeply caring mother made audiences weep. And she doesn't have all the answers or solutions, but she puts in the work to find them. My mom found out I was massively bullied in school and didn't write me off, but looked into every resource she could find. Rarely did someone get a firm diagnosis of autism when I was a kid, but she worked hard to put the label on my social issues so we could work on them together. She started homeschooling me, setting aside time every week in between math and music to practice different social situations and issues. I practiced how to make eye contact and discovered my hyper-focus on music was a good thing. Stumbling is a problem? Mom will build a whole runway. But sometimes helping your kid looks like stepping aside and letting someone else give your kid answers. Enter Thunderbolt. I know he was only in the film briefly, but I love him so much. His role of someone deeply familiar with your kid's struggles and knowledgeable about how to work with them could be a minor role in their life. I think that expertise is crucial though. My teacher at the Open Door Autism Learning Center had worked with Asperger's kids for years, and I grew so well under her steady tutelage. Soon I was mentoring other kids at her school. I learned that alone time for me was mandatory or I'd turn into a zombie. I learned what level of emotional intimacy was appropriate for different relationships. It may not be dimes and barrel rolls, but I still learned skills I use today from someone who knew exactly what to teach me. Then we come to Longneck. He's a rare bird who recognizes the amount of work Roz put into her gosling son and helps him step into the wider community. This is not a teacher's role. I describe them more as a gateway into the larger social world. I had many of those. Some were put in my path by my mom, but some I found on my own. Unsurprisingly, most of my mentors and door openers came from my Catholic parish, where we spent a great deal of time. I nicknamed my favorite church lady because every time I tried a new ministry, she seemed to be somewhere in it. She was also my confirmation sponsor, which is basically a personally selected mentor. I found two more in college, my theater professor and choir director. I loved their classes because my authentic Asperger's self was welcomed and valued. I still remember the time the choir director singled me out. After 2 afternoons of painstakingly picking out the notes in our complicated music piece, I finally memorized the soprano's part. In following practices, when a girl in my section lost her place or was unsure, she'd listen to my voice and follow it back into the melody. The director noticed this and commended me for it in front of everyone. Oh, did I mention my hyperfixation is music? That moment helped solidify me as a person proud of my unique mind. I imagine Bright Bill felt similarly when his shrunken wingspan saved his entire flock. Now my part in the story has changed. I'm Roz, trying to teach my two girls how to fit into a world I don't understand, but trying to. My husband is a good deal more dependable and less snarky than Fink. My best friend plays Longneck, helping me see the good job I am doing despite my fears and questions. My mom is still at my shoulder teaching mom skills like a certain possum. And it's no carved leg replacement, but I get so much practical help from my church family with carpooling and practically packaged friendships for my oldest girl. I would be up a creek without a paddle if I attempted this alone, and I hope neither of my girls has to either. But mostly, I'm thankful for my mom, who hunted down my teachers, made connections with my mentors, and gave me my wings. I love you, Mom. I would love to do a whole series of video essays on this film. There is so much to talk about. Please let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more of this from me.